All right, let's dive into one of the biggest financial puzzles out there, especially here in the US, the huge difference between W-2 and 1099 income. Seriously, getting this right is the key to mastering your taxes, whether you've got a 9 to 5 or you're out there hustling for yourself. Have you ever looked at your paycheck, seen the top line number, and then looked at what actually hit your bank account and just thought, wait, what happened? Or maybe you've been on the other side. You did some freelance work, got paid, and then bam, a massive, totally unexpected tax bill shows up. Yeah, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. So let's break this whole thing down. It's basically a tale of two different paychecks. At the heart of it are two main characters, the W-2 employee and the 1099 independent contractor. Two different paths, two very different tax situations. And here's the absolute core difference. If you're a W-2 employee, your employer is taking care of your taxes for you. They're automatically withheld from your paycheck. But if you're a 1099 contractor, well, you're basically a business of one. You're responsible for paying all of your own taxes directly to the IRS. But, it gets a little tricky. The Department of Labor has this really important point. Just because a company hands you a 1099 form, that doesn't automatically mean you are a contractor. What really matters is the actual relationship. How much control do they have over your work? Are you a core part of their business? That's what truly defines your status. So first up, let's walk down the W-2 path. This is the one most American workers are on, and it's all built around a system called withholding. Think of withholding as the government's pay-as-you-go plan for your taxes. Instead of you having to save up and pay a giant lump sum once a year, your employer just takes out a little piece from each paycheck and sends it straight to the government for you. It's designed to prevent that huge, scary tax bill in April. And that is why your paycheck seems to shrink. You start with your gross pay. That's the big number. But before it even gets close to your bank account, your employer takes out federal and state income taxes, plus those payroll taxes. Then you might have other stuff like health insurance taken out. What's left at the very end is your net pay, or what we all call take-home pay. Okay, now let's flip the script completely and look at the world of the 1099 contractor. If you're a freelancer, a consultant, or a gig worker, this is your life. When you're a contractor, you get the whole check, the full amount. No taxes taken out, and let me tell you, it can feel like you just hit the jackpot. But this is where the trap lies. You have to remember, a big chunk of that money isn't really yours. It belongs to Uncle Sam. So instead of withholding, contractors have to use what's called the estimated tax system. This basically means you're your own payroll department. You have to figure out how much you're going to owe for the year and then send payments to the IRS 4 times a year. It takes some serious discipline. So, this brings us to the big, burning question. Why does it almost always feel like you are paying so much more in taxes when you're a 1099 contractor? Is it just in your head, or is there something real going on? The answer is, it is very real. And it's not about income tax rates. Those are the same for everybody. The real reason for that tax sticker shock all comes down to something called FICA taxes. Those are the taxes that fund Social Security and Medicare. Okay, as a W-2 employee, you glance at your pay stub and you see that 7.65% is taken out for FICA. But that's only half of the story. Here's the part you never see. Your employer is also paying another 7.65% on your behalf. They match what you put in dollar for dollar. So for every W-2 employee, a total of 15.3% is going into the system. You just only ever feel your half. Now, you can probably see where this is going. As a 1099 contractor, you are considered both the employee and the employer. So guess what? You're on the hook for both halves. You have to pay the entire whopping 15.3% all by yourself. This table just lays it out crystal clear. The W-2 employee and their boss split the bill. The 1099 contractor? Nope. You've got to cover the whole thing. This is what's known as the self-employment tax. And it's the #1 reason that 1099 income feels so much more painful from a tax perspective. So now that you know why the taxes are so high, we need to talk about how to avoid the single biggest, most expensive mistake that almost every new freelancer makes. I mean, seriously, getting a surprise bill from the IRS for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars can absolutely wreck you. The good news is it is 100% avoidable if you just plan ahead. It all comes down to discipline. The two biggest mistakes are not paying your estimated taxes every quarter, which leads to penalties, and, even more importantly, not setting aside money for taxes from day one. Here's the pro tip. open a separate savings account. The second a client payment comes in, immediately transfer 25 to 35% of it into that account. Just pretend that money doesn't exist. It's not your money, it's the IRS's money. Don't touch it. At the end of the day, it's pretty simple. Knowing whether you're a W-2 employee or a 1099 contractor is step one to taking control of your financial life. Once you know the rules of the game you're playing, you can plan for it, you can strategize, and you can totally avoid those nasty tax surprises. Hey, if you found this helpful, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button for more explainers just like this one. Thanks for tuning in.